At Direct Service Overhead, we know how much trust you put in the individuals who have the privilege of working on the components of your home. We understand that a broken garage door is the last thing you want to be worried about, and most of the time, doors break at the most inconvenient times. Our professionally trained technicians service 24 hours a day, and our high-cycle parts are guaranteed to make a noticeable impact on your garage door without putting a damper on your wallet. If you're looking for need of assistance maintaining your current garage door, our team has the experience and expertise to deliver the results you deserve. Give Direct Service Overhead a call today or visit us online to learn more.
Oh, it's hard to be humble right now. I'm just going to say that. It's hard to be humble. That's what it is right now. It's hard to be humble. 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome to the one and only Picture Network YouTube channel. I'm Ty Hudson. Hope you guys are, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know how you didn't. Well, the first half. The first half could have been a little better. First half play calling, maybe one of the 3 worst first halves offensively for the Hogs. But you know what? That second half more than made up for it. The Razorbacks, they don't just find a way. They just kind of did whatever they wanted. Mizzou couldn't stop them. They ran out of gas. And Arkansas, better talent. Bigger, more physical, stronger, faster, better team. Better team on the field. I thought this would be a little bit closer only because, well, I was a little concerned about Beatty. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I have it in my notes. You know, we were going to do a show this morning, and then things happened. I wasn't able to do it. So, by the way, share the content. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Shout out to the sponsors and everything. Patreon has been doing great. Shout out to all the new Patreon supporters. Had several, and that is awesome. It helps keep the studio lights on in this studio room. But yeah, my notes were Beatty is going to be a problem. Mizzou actually run blocks pretty well. They are pretty big and physical and strong up front in the trenches. Their defense has played better the last 2 weeks. I know Discord was pitching a fit because we just couldn't stop Beatty, guys. And our offense looks like pure shit, which it did in the first half. I mean, completely. I mean, they did. But Mizzou's played better. I mean, they did win a couple of games. I know who they played. I get it. But they were kind of riding a wave of a little bit of, well, I mean, they became bowl eligible, and then this game was going to be kind of the icing on the cake. I had Arkansas by 10. I felt like they could stretch this game out by 14, maybe 17 if they were lucky, if they could have some things go their way, and then Mizzou maybe make that up in the end of the game. I did feel like Arkansas would control this game, though. They're the better team. They have the better product on the field. Far better quarterback. Oh my gosh. Tip of the cap, though, to the Razorbacks secondary today. I mean, they took a lot of heat this year, and rightfully so, especially in the second half of the season. I sat here and told you guys I wasn't going to defend them anymore. But based on that performance tonight and the way they responded against Bama, it was admirable. That was great. I mean, holy crap. I mean, that entire game, it wasn't a tell of two halves for the secondary. They played great from start to finish. And this is a guy, too, Connor Bazelak, who last year, do you recall what he did? I mean, last year, this was a guy who was throwing 64%, somewhere floating around 64% or so. Pretty good quarterback, pretty effective. Started off the year really good, and then they've just fallen flat. And I think more and more teams are I think it's just the grind of the SEC, despite the fact that they're in the East. So I am going to I'm going to pat myself on the back. I did pick the Razorbacks to finish 8-4. I had someone who apparently doesn't listen to many shows question whether or not I made that pick. I certainly did. I picked the Razorbacks 8-4 after fall camp. I said, okay, I like them at 8-4. I had a few people come in and chat. I can't believe you took this team 8-4. Well, I did. Stuck with it for the most part. I did pick them to lose. What was my pick on the year? That would have made me 10-2 on the year on my picks. So not a bad year. Not a bad year. But I'm not gonna lie, the 8-4, I was starting to back off of it. I think I did kind of back off of it in the middle, halfway through the year, if I remember right. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I think I felt less confident. I seem to remember saying I feel less confident about getting to 8 wins. Let's not sit here and act like it was easy. It wasn't. That stretch, the Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Georgia, Ole Miss, Auburn. That is one of the toughest stretches. I mean, that grind is unlike anything else in college football. And you get out of that and it's like, okay, well, we got UAPB coming up on a bye week. We've got we're going to have them and then we're going to have them and then a bye week. So, it's kind of like a double bye in a way. And since then they really have played, they haven't been complete in every single game, but it's like one side of the ball played really well. And, you look at how they played against LSU. The defense was so solid against LSU, and then you fast forward a little bit to Bama, and the defense fell flat, but the offense took it to them, gave Alabama their worst game points-wise at home all year, second most points on the season. So Fishman says, to think I originally thought Coach Pittman was a bad hire. Woo damn pig. I love being wrong when it makes me feel good. He's not the in-between hire. I don't think he is anymore. And I know I'm going to have some Captain Hindsighter come in. I told you to, Ty. I know that. I get it. I thought he was an in-between hire. And he's not. I mean, he clearly looks like the right man for the job. And I think I said that several weeks ago. We still have a chance to make the Gator Bowl. We're going to talk about the bowl possibilities on Monday. You need some teams to win. You need some teams that you hate to cheer for. You're going to have to cheer for them this weekend. And, So, all right, do me a favor. Like, comment for those of you who are watching after the fact if you're not here live. Some people are asking about the live chat button not being available. I don't know why, and this is to people after the fact. Should be right there next to the dislike button. And by the way, I guess YouTube did away with the dislike button, or I guess they're not visible to you guys. I don't like that. I don't like that. At least that's what I've heard. I don't know if it's hit my channel yet or not. Obviously, I can only see it through my eyes, through the content creator's eyes. I have no idea what you guys can and can't see. I welcome the dislikes. My like to dislike ratio is really tilted in my favor. I'm okay with where I'm at there, and I hope that they're visible, both like and dislikes. KJ is the man. I agree, John Kuhn. Arky56, welcome back from the dead, sir. Oh, that's right. I had to fix your password for the 19th time. I had the score 34-20. You owe me a Subway. No. We just subtract that from like the 17 that you owe me, Dad. You owe me like 17 subs. And by the way, I said 8. I'm pretty sure you challenged me on my 8-4 pick too this year, sir. Kelly Marie, glad you could make this, Kelly. She says apparently YouTube takes less service than Hulu. It could have just been Hulu too, or I don't know. Maybe Hulu requires more bandwidth. I don't know. Jared Collins, 8-4 and 1 to go. You could finish. Of course, we're gonna have to wait and see what their matchup is like, who they're going up against. First 8-win season since 2011. That's correct. You talk smack. You get your ass kicked, so take that, Alma boy, Eli. I really, really, really wanted to go up. I wanted Arkansas to pummel like 55 to what was it, 9 or whatever. I really wanted to pummel them into the ground. I've never wanted Arkansas to continue scoring so badly in the second half or in the fourth quarter like I did tonight. And they kept running Beatty. Like, I know they want him to get the 200 yards and the record and all this crap. Dude, you're going to get him hurt, man. And I'm sure he was asking for the rock, but that guy he's a Sunday running back. He's a guy that's going to play on Sundays. Why would you risk that? When the game is out of hand, bowl games are different. These guys who leave before the season's over with or they leave before the bowl game, I kind of get the bowl game, I guess. We might have that happen. We could have a couple of guys hold out. I hope that doesn't happen. But, yeah. Love that he talked crap about Sam Pittman team and got his, yeah. Jeff Davis says went for 2 for the win against Ole Miss. Should have got a PI call and Alabama. Yeah, so you can count on one hand how many plays away you were from going probably 10-2. Some would probably argue 11-1. I think even if things go your way, Bama's Bama. They find a way out of everything. And, yeah, we could talk about the officiating as well, but I think at best it's 10-2 for sure. No humility required on the PTN. No. Damn Skippy. Hell no. 8-4. I made the pick, baby. I said 8-4 and I had people coming at me. Where's Michael Kopesky? Is he in chat? I think he was one of the people who was saying, how could you pick 8-4? Wilson Wood, I recognize you. I've never seen an OC so bad. Let's see. I've never seen an OC be so good, yet so bad as Bryles. Head scratchers all first half, no downfield throws. Second half, completely different. I agree, Wilson. You and I, same page on that one. Same page. That was first half, that was awful. I don't know what we were watching, and it felt like Rice. Someone said in Discord that was exactly Rice. Whoever said that, you're spot on. You're spot on. Good evening, Ty. How you doing? Hoyt, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. If LSU beats A&M, I think we become third in the SEC West. Yeah, it's something like that. I hate going over these scenarios because I'm kind of on the outside. I've seen it. I don't know what it is. It's something like that. Yeah, A&M has to lose, which is not going to happen. I don't know. Maybe, because LSU is playing pretty damn good defensive football lately. So I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Remember, share, subscribe, all the content. Let's get to the sponsors. Your pappy says you owe him a Subway. We have this ongoing Subway bet that's been going on for like 10 years, and he owes me like 17 sub sandwiches, and he knows it. He knows that he owes me these subs. I never cash in on them because I'm a good son. That's what good sons do. I don't cash in on them even though I should. Direct Service Overhead, garage door company. They operate out of Little Rock, Central Arkansas, around the Little Rock area, in Northwest Arkansas. They will repair or replace your garage door. Give them a call for see if you want to do some business with them. If you want to do some business, give them a holler. Their link is provided for you down below in the description box. Of course, Stated Apparel. They have unique shirts just for you from State Pride, funny, sassy, sarcastic, and pop culture. Our shirts are hand printed on premium material that will leave you feeling and looking great. Our store offers something for everyone. So again, those links are both provided for you down below in the description box. John Pigsui says a Discord, man, I love sitting at 8-4, best feeling in the world. I had us going 6-6. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, look, I get it, especially after not really knowing what you had in KJ Jefferson, right, this year. Just what a, oh my gosh. Like, I'm not going to go in on what Arkansas should be doing every year, but they should be this level of competition, I think, most years. I think this should be who they are, right? Somewhere around, hovering around 9 wins a year, every second, third year, finding a way to maybe possibly at least sniff an SEC championship appearance, sniff it every third or so year because of Bama. And, of course, it's like Bama and LSU switch places, and then Auburn pokes their head up, and then you've got A&M. Now you're going to have Texas and Oklahoma to deal with. We'll see how the SEC straightens that out, possibly sooner than later. It only gets harder from here on out. But Sam Pittman is the guy I want going into further expansion. He's the guy that I want. Kendall Briles, again, it's funny how this game really shines a light on who he is as an OC. While it's like there's a lot of good with him as an OC. There's also some bad. And I've talked about it all year long, and we'll get into this game here in a second. But his situational awareness, okay, Stephen Hamner and myself, QB Spotlight, have talked about this. His situational awareness, it's like he approaches every single down, including 3rd and long, as though it were 2nd and short. Like, if we don't get this one, we'll get another play. Who cares? 3rd and 14, we're gonna run a draw, right? Or we're just gonna keep that decision in the hands of the quarterback because it is an RPO. I believe most of the plays are up to, or the way the play unravels is going to be up to KJ. It's up to him to give it, keep it, or throw it. That is the whole purpose of the veer and shoot. That's the whole purpose of an RPO. You know, to give the quarterback the multiple options on a single play. If the play breaks down on defense, if the linebackers bite, safeties creep up, they bite on the play fake, which is essentially play action, but not really, but it is. Then you keep it. You can decide to check outside and run it, or you can go over the top. That's the whole design of this system. If they're biting often on throws downfield, but here's the problem: they don't throw vertical a lot. They did in the second half. It's amazing, and we talked about this against Bama. What happened on 3rd and long when they were going 4 and 5 wide sets and just throwing the ball, moving the ball around, letting your receivers get in place, getting them out in open field, letting them do their thing. Treylon Burks. Look what happens. Now, look, also, it wasn't all on Kendall. It wasn't all on KJ. Offensive line was overwhelmed in the first half. KJ wasn't given time on downs where I thought some of the play calling was actually a little bit better. I thought the first down play calling in the first half was better than what we've seen most of the time. They just didn't work because Mizzou was reading them like an open book. So I guess that is kind of still a blemish, but not very well executed. But I like that he was trying. You know, it wasn't just straight up Gibbs. It wasn't just a straight up draw. It wasn't a straight up QB draw or an RPO with KJ handing the ball off. It was trying to do some things outside a little bit. They did mix it up. I think they were 50% on 3rd down in the first half or close to it. I want to say. I think they were 3 of 6. Someone might have to correct me on that. I think they were 3 of 6 in the first half, which is still not. I mean, you're 50%. You're not going to argue much with 50%. Some of the best offenses in college football hover around 48, 47% for a game. But in the first half, you're 50%, and that was good to see. KJ is not human. I had a text from a friend who said, I wonder if KJ didn't just make himself some money tonight. And he's someone who is a bettor. He plays the odds. He's not really a diehard Hog fan. He's definitely an NFL guy. And he believes KJ could be drafted right now. And he thinks that there might be some front offices, there might be some GMs, some coaches, some OCs, some quarterback coaches in the ear of some people in front offices around the league to possibly get a look if he were to dare to go pro. And some people scoff at the idea of him even trying to think about that, right? Look at his game and how much it's evolved throughout the season. He is a legit passing quarterback. Now, I don't know. I mean, look, Kendall may leave. I hope that he doesn't, but Kendall may leave. I don't know who takes over at OC. I don't know if they go outside. I don't know if they hire within with Loggins, the tight end coach. I don't know if now all of a sudden they feel more confident. We're just going to run a pro-style offense, what they run a lot of in the NFL. I don't know that KJ can operate that. Maybe it's the RPO that elevates KJ's game. I kind of lean towards that, but he has gotten so much better at deciphering coverage, at reading and identifying linebackers, at identifying coverage, going through his reads. There are a couple times, look, nobody's perfect. We get it every time in Discord if he throws an incomplete pass or if he gets sacked, well, sometimes it is on him. He has actually held the ball too long a few times this year, but seems like a lot of times we just place so much blame on KJ, but at the same time, you look at the body of work. This guy has been consistent. 3 picks? Are you kidding me? I mean, and it's not like the guy played half a season, obviously. Everyone here knows that. This dude, I don't know. His total touchdown to interception or turnover ratio is pretty damn good. He's got the arm strength. He's got deep ball, really good deep ball placement. Again, he can identify coverage really well. He's going through his reads. He's patient with the ball. And, oh, yeah, by the way, he's 6'3.5". Some people think he could be closer to 6'4", but I don't know. He might even be 6'2". You know how the NFL Combine is. It exploits everybody, right? In terms of their measurables. But he's big. He can move. He's got a strong arm. He's accurate. He's smart with the ball. And if you ask me, Ty, is he going pro? No, I don't think so. I think he still needs another year. But I'll say this. It wouldn't shock me if he came out and said, all right, I think I'm going to try it out. I think I'm going to go pro. It wouldn't shock me. And he would get a combine invite. Absolutely he would. So I think he set himself up to come back next year and to be one of the premier quarterbacks. I think that's the route that he takes. He's going to be talked about. All the preseason magazines, all the preseason websites, all the hubbub, all the hype is going to be surrounded around KJ Jefferson. Of course, we know the rest of that riddle, what's going on with the rest of the offensive line. We know you're going to get at least one guy back in Dalton Wagner, and, of course, wide receivers. Speaking of, you know who impressed me tonight in the receiving core? I don't know if you guys caught it. Now, Devon Warren did have some moments. Devon Warren had one catch for 32 yards. I think he had I read that wrong. He had a run for 32 yards. He had 2 catches. Ketron Jackson, 2 catches, 53 yards. We saw him on the field more. Pretty impressed with him. I mean, even though it was 2 grabs, I wonder if, let's say Burks holds out on the bowl game. Oh, Lord, I hope not. But if that happens, who takes over? Who's that guy now? Is it probably, my guess would be the older, more experienced Warren Thompson, who obviously knows Kendall Browse a little bit better and knows the offense a little better than Ketron. Maybe it's Devon Warren. Maybe you move Knox. Maybe you're feeling good about his confidence in this offense. Maybe you move him back to wide receiver somewhere. But yeah, I was pretty impressed. If you caught that first pass right on the sidelines where he dragged that foot, that is a difficult catch to make. And he did it and looked good doing it. So I wanted to see more of him in this game, and I kind of thought we would, considering it looked like we were going to throw the ball more, but we ended up not even throwing it 19 or 20 times. All right, let's go over the numbers here really quick. Connor Bazelak just got flat out owned. Mo Brown with his 5th pick of the season. Connor Bazelak, 16 incompletions, 10 of 26 for 65 yards. That's good for under 3 yards per completion. That is atrocious. You can chalk it up to Connor not being, probably a little, definitely overrated on the year. Again, you look at early on in the season, he looked like you're going to be a name you talk about the end of the year. Not the case. This guy got flat out exposed. 10 of 26 for 65 yards. That's unreal. Tyler Beatty, 41 carries, 5.3 yards a carry. He did have a touchdown. His longest run from the line of scrimmage was 17, 219 yards. They had 251 yards on the ground. They ran the ball 50 times. They had no play from Connor. They had no quarterback play. Kiki Chisholm ended up with their most catches, 3 grabs for 37 yards. Everybody else outside of Deontay Smith had just one catch. Defensively, Blaze Ulrich, wow, he was a monster tonight. He ended up with a sack. I think he had two tackles for loss. I haven't refreshed this page. I'm not seeing tackle stats yet. I think he led them in tackles. I thought I counted like 13 tackles in the game. I have no idea. Why is there a fly in my house in November? He was unreal. Hang on, let me refresh this. See if this gives me numbers here. Here we go. Scroll down. Yep, there. Okay, we have numbers. All right, 11 total. Yeah, okay, I was off by 3. He had 11 tackles. He had a 0.5 sack, which is a sack, and 1.5 tackles for loss. So I think you might as well just round it up to 2 tackles. And he also had a quarterback hurry. Blaze Ulrich was a monster in the first half. He was the transfer from Rice. We talked about him a little bit early on in the year. But other than that, I mean, they had 2 pass breakups the entire game. Joe Britton and DJ Jackson for Mizzou. Just as the game went on, Mizzou was done. They were checked out. They were done. KJ Jefferson, moving over to Arkansas individual stats. KJ Jefferson, 15 of 19, 262 yards with a touchdown. KJ Jefferson ends up with the most rushing and receiving yards, by the way. 6 carries, 58 yards. He had almost 200 yards of offense, man. Traylon Smith, who did fumble, but honestly had a couple – I mean, obviously he scored and had a couple of really nice moments. 7 carries, 37 yards with a touchdown. Raheem Sanders had 8 carries for 21 yards. Raheem has not looked the same. There was a play out in the flats. I don't remember if it was off a pass or if it was I don't know what he was doing out there. I think it might have been a screen maybe set up. But he continues to kick the play outside with the ball. Should have cut up. Should have just turned and cut. Should have turned and burned. We know he's got the boost to do it. He's got the extra step. He can do it. And he didn't. He tried to continue to force the issue outside, and he didn't really go anywhere. We've seen that it had to be a run because I'm not seeing that he had any receiving stats. So I guess it was a run. But I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, he was hyped up. Same thing with Dominic Johnson. Dominic tonight, just 6 carries for 19 yards. So Traylon Smith ended up being your leading yards per carry back. Again, 7 carries, 37 yards. That's north of 5 yards a carry with that touchdown. He did have, and we can't hate on Sanders too much, he did have a couple of scores. But other than that, his other 6 carries, I mean, his longest run from line of scrimmage was 7 yards. Just haven't seen him or Dominic really come back to what they were, especially the first part of the season. Receiving, Treylon Burks, 7 catches, 129 yards. Devon Warren, with a touchdown, by the way. Devon Warren, 2 catches, 63 yards. Katron Jackson, 2 for 53. And Trey Knox, 2 for 10. He's getting comfortable. He really is. Now, defensively, I don't know how you weren't just super impressed. Look, Beatty is Mizzou's offense. People continue to complain about not being able to stop him in Discord. Guys, he's their offense. That's it. He is you're talking about one of the leading rushers in college football. You can only hope to contain someone like Beatty. He plays like he's 6'2", 240. I mean, you saw guys bouncing off of him. What is he, 5'8"? How much does Beatty weigh? 5'8"? Watching him run, you would think he was bigger. He runs like a power back, but yet he's got that burst. 5'8", just under 200 pounds at 194 pounds. He's a damn good back. I mean, we could sit here and complain about the defense not being able to. My only real criticism of anyone on defense is Simeon Blair. This guy was killing me with these shoulder tackles. I cannot stand that when these guys try to bump with their shoulders. They think they're going to knock a guy down. Couldn't do it. Simeon Blair did that twice, and he's done it every week he's played, and it drives me crazy. Bumper Pool had 13 tackles, 5 solos. Hayden Henry tonight was phenomenal. I mean, 10 tackles, 7 of those solo with a tackle for loss, and 2 other quarterback hurries. Grant Morgan was playing physical. Poole was playing physical. These guys were just playing really good football. John Ridgway silently had a pretty consistent night, 5 tackles. Hudson Clark, did you see him with that tackle in the backfield? He is a willing participant when it comes to physicality in the game of football. All right? He is a willing participant. He will tackle. Coverage skills, need a lot of work, clearly. But he's not afraid to wrap somebody up, and he's good at it. He's a solid open field tackle. I've seen him miss one here or there, but, nobody's perfect. It's really easy to criticize. But when you see him make plays like he did tonight in the backfield, that was impressive. You got to give credit where credit's due. Special teams, again, they just continue to build and look great every week. Well, it looked better and better. Reed Bauer punted the ball 50 times. Could you imagine that? 5 punts for 246 yards, averaging almost 50 yards per punt. Cam Little was 2 for 2, 4 for 4 in extra points. His longest field goal of the night was 36. Perotti had 2 returns for 34 yards. That's 17 yards of return. All of a sudden, the light is on. Special teams, I think now you can just chalk it up. They're a weapon. The turnaround with special teams this year has been phenomenal. I mean, it really has. I mean, between KJ Jefferson as a quarterback and his as a passing quarterback and his development and his improvement, his evolution as a quarterback from start to where he finished on the season is incredible. You could say the same thing about special teams. They were further back. I had no confidence in special teams this year. They proved me wrong. And I will gladly, openly admit that. I've been really impressed. Hold on. Do we have another super chat? I thought we did. My bad. My screen hadn't refreshed. Little chilly at the game today. Yeah. Saw that. Kevin, I don't hate the idea, but he would have to really pack on some weight. Who are we talking about? Hudson won't really ever be fast enough to. Oh, you're talking about Hudson Clark. Yeah, no, he's not. I hate when they go solo coverage with him. It makes me really nervous. Ryan Jones says, not sure you were wrong, Ty. They just improved tremendously as the year went on. I think I was wrong. I was pretty hard on him. I mean, I was. I appreciate that, Ryan, but I think I was wrong. I really did not see them improving like they have, and they really have. They've done a great job. Outback Bowl says Country Boy. Hudson becoming a linebacker. I said safety because a lot of safeties and a lot of defenses, they typically run zone. It's rare that you see safeties. I mean, in this day and age, it's kind of a mix, but you see safeties typically, they're playing zone. He's tall, long body, has hands. He can catch the ball. He can break passes up. He's not afraid of contact. He's physical. We're sitting here talking about they're moving Slusher around. They moved Devin Bush back to safety. And why aren't we doing this with Hudson Clark? And I feel like that's just further evidence that they're thinner at corner than we realized. Tackles well. He does. If you're talking about Hudson. You missed my super chat. Oh, my bad. Hang on. Let me scroll up. There's a Joe super chat. I've missed a couple. That's my fault, guys. That's my fault. Well, see, they just now are popping up. That's what's weird. YouTube's having some problems tonight. Hang on. Woo Damn Pig from Dixon Street. There we go. Great second half. Turn that damn jukebox on. Got all the hardware this year. 3 for 3 in your trophy games. 3 for 3. Gotta love it. Ooh, feels good. Now that the season's over, who's better? 2020 Felipe, 2021 KJ. 2021 KJ. He's built for this offense. The offense built for a player like him. You look at his accuracy, just how well he commands the offense, his improvement as a passing quarterback, and you got to give credit to Felipe Franks. Apparently, KJ was kind of taken under his wing quite a bit last year. Was disappointed we didn't let Dominic get his revenge against Mizzou. Hey, he's still got some time. A lot of eyes on him against Bama, and he shined. Who's that? Kalen Hitchens. Who are you talking about? You talking about KJ? I'm trying to scroll up here on chat, so I'm going to be a little lost on what some of you say. Katron's starting to step up. I hope he has a good bowl game. I really do. Occasional Gamer says, is it huge that KJ hasn't thrown a pick in the last 2 games? Does someone know the last time he threw a legitimate interception? He's thrown 3. He had 1 at halftime against A&M, which was a Hail Mary, And I don't remember the other two. I feel like one was a deflection maybe, or there was contact with it as it left his hands or something. I don't even remember. Burks will have a great NFL career. I think so. I so hope he runs his 40 at the combine. And he may have to. Because I don't know. I think some of these projections on him in the draft are because they don't know what his speed is. They don't know what he's running with in terms of his speed. I mean, you can watch film. You can watch plenty of film and watch the guy turn and burn, baby. But that's still like a good example of someone who turned heads and made money it happens every year, but for Arkansas, the guy that made money at the NFL Combine, Darren McFadden was already going to be a top 5 pick. And he ran, I forgot, it was like a 4.3 240, right? Matt Jones, I've talked about him. He's still my favorite quarterback that ever got a chance to watch. That cat ran at 6'6", 242 pounds. I think it was a 4.38 or 4.37 laser 40 at the NFL Combine. Jacksonville saw that, and they're like, yeah, we're going to take him. I think had he kept his nose clean, had he stayed away from the, from the white powder, I think he could have had a hell of a career. I really do. I mean, he was so fun to watch too here at Arkansas. I've been saying that about KJ for months now. KJ's getting really good. Well, I mean, we have too here. We've talked about how he's evolved so much as a passer, John. I agree. He only plays against the best athletes in college football. You're right. Watching a win over Mizzou or a loss from Bama is always better on the beach. Hey, there you go, Dr. Pep. Happy late Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. KJ for Heisman next year. Boy, they're going to have to get him some help, though. He's going to have to get some help. Hail Mary versus – was it Ole Miss? I don't know why I don't remember that. John Hawes. What up, John? Booga Sugar. Bad for – oh, okay. Bad for Matt Jones. Great for Kendall Browse. I don't know what it is about him in halftime, man, but they make all of the proper adjustments in the second half. It's a thing of beauty. You guys see the shirt? Oh man, it's a thing of beauty. Some of you, I don't know that some of you saw, but I do have Ken Hamlin's cigars. They're called The Arrival. He's on Twitter, but he's not active. I wanted to include him on a tweet and be like, bro, I smoked one of your cigars the other night. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. There was one against Rice. Okay, yeah, I think he did throw one against Rice. One against Texas and one against Ole Miss. Was it Ole Miss at half? I thought it was Mississippi. Or no, A&M. I don't know. My memory's hazy with him and his interceptions because he's thrown so few. I should remember him. Let's look at the total numbers here really quick. The total team stats for this game. And this is, again, when you consider what Bazelak, how easy this game was for Bazelak last year. Again, this guy was throwing like 70% at home. And he ripped Arkansas up, but he did pretty well last year on the road too. So Arkansas, they started off hot in the first half on third downs, but they ended up going 4 of 11. Mizzou on third down, 7 of 19. They're 1 for 2, so they're 50% on fourth down. 316 total yards for Missouri. 425 for Arkansas. Again, we talked about their passing, just 65. Arkansas had nearly 200 yards more passing. 251 yards on the ground for Mizzou versus Arkansas at 163. Not a lot of penalties in this game, just 10 for 106. Mizzou hit with 4, Arkansas hit with 6, and both teams had a turnover. Arkansas's was a fumble by Traylon Smith, and Mizzou threw a pick. Bazelak threw a pick to Mo Brown. Shout out to Mo Brown, man. He outside of Bama, that dude has played Bama and maybe Ole Miss, but I think Ole Miss was the game where he got dinged up and he was hobbling around, wasn't playing real well. But we talk about the BOW, the body of work for Mo Brown. I wonder if he doesn't find a way to the Senior Bowl and possibly find an invite to the Combine, maybe even getting drafted. I said coming into the year, he'd probably be a free agent. That'd kind of be his role. Maybe if he were lucky, he could sneak in the 7th round. You got to love what he did this year. You're starting to wonder, maybe he gets in legitimately. Maybe he's a little bit higher pick than we realized. So looking at some of the scores around the league, around college football, North Carolina is currently trailing to NC State. North Carolina has been the biggest disappointment. I don't know what's going on there. I thought they would compete in the ACC, and they're staring down the barrel of 6-6. But NC State winning right now, first half 14-0. Cincinnati clocked Eastern Carolina at 35-13, and Iowa over Nebraska. I don't know if you guys got a chance to catch that game. That was a close one. Nebraska's got to be the worst team in college football. 28-21 Iowa, and then Utah over Colorado at 28-13. San Diego State beat a pretty scrappy Boise State team 27-16. Ole Miss in a kind of a late comeback from Mississippi State. I didn't watch all that game, but I caught pieces of it. Ole Miss ends up winning by 10, 31-21. Yeah. And you've got Georgia Tech. That's tomorrow. That's going to be a blowout. Ohio State, Michigan. That'll be interesting. 11 a.m. on Fox. Texas Tech and Baylor. That should be all Baylor. Trying to see if we had another good game here. 5-6 North Texas taking on 11-0 UTSA. UTSA trying to go undefeated. 12-0. We know they're not going to make the playoffs, but it kind of makes you wonder where they end up in the CFP. And Alabama and Auburn. I don't know, man. This could actually be a pretty good game. Bama is. This is weird to say, but them and Oklahoma are so similar in a lot of different ways, even though we would probably take Alabama to win that head-to-head matchup with Alabama and Oklahoma. I would take Alabama 9 times out of 10, but they're so similar in a lot of ways. Anything could go. And it would be such an Auburn thing to do to have the wins that they have this year. Remember, they went into Fayetteville and they beat Arkansas. Still think Arkansas should have won that game, but it is what it is. But that could be an interesting matchup. Iron Bowl, Alabama, Auburn, 2:30 on CBS. Oregon State, nobody cares. Oklahoma State will be a good matchup. That's going to be at 6:30 on ABC. So I don't think either one of those teams should be in the playoffs, if you want my honest opinion, but they might have a shot. So, yeah, looking down the list here, I'm not seeing any other real good games. But I think Oklahoma State, and I think the Iron Bowl, those will be 2 really good games. So, yeah. Yeah, all right. I appreciate you guys. What are we at here? Where are we going? What are we at? How long? 45 minutes. Okay. Dude, I'm going to kill this thing. You see him? Little pecker? I'd love to have Mo Brown. He has a year of eligibility left, John. You shared that in our Discord. You're absolutely right. He's got another year of eligibility. Read it, Ty. Read what? What am I reading? What am I reading? Dude, what is this? Where did this thing come from? All right. SMU lost their coach, so they'll go after Chad Morris. Don't miss that. What comment? Oh, my God. The one gnat in this house is it's in here. Beatty should have been ejected for that play on Slusher. I don't know about ejected, but I think he got penalized. I don't know about ejected. Definitely should have been. Well, I mean, he got penalized. Right here he is. Right, come here. Did I get him? This damn thing is Terminator. Who's 12-0? Oh, Cincinnati just beat ECU? Okay. I wish I knew what you guys were talking about. Go to my username. Well, I can't do that. I have to just scroll up. So just saying, are you talking about? Okay, so just saying this, but Petrino, first record was 5-7. Second year was 8-5. Third year was 10-3, and then 11-2. Sam is 3-7 and 8-4. I'm seeing things that I'm loving. Well, a little bit different scenario. He had Ryan Mallett waiting in the wings, and then he had Tyler Wilson. He had all those Warren receivers. Had a salty defense. They were always bend, don't break, and that's probably what Arkansas is going to be. I mean, a step above that, the old Willie Robinson defenses. But, I don't like we'll see. We'll see. That was just as dangerous as targeting. Yeah, but the rule is under those circumstances they're not going to eject him. I mean, he held on to his face mask. We'll have to agree to disagree. I don't think he should have been ejected for it, but definitely got penalized. I think that was the right thing. But he said they will blame me if he wrecks a motorcycle. I don't know. All right, I do appreciate you guys. I got to go. I'm getting the eyeball. We got friends over. We're going to have our Friendsgiving. Our neighbor Alex and his wife Jessica are over. We're going to have a awesome dinner. I'm pretty excited for it. So, and hopefully I get a chance to smoke a cigar. All right. See you guys on Monday. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to reflect a little more on the season and get ready for some basketball. And then we're going to have the opportunity to talk about some bowl game possibilities as well. So, yeah. All right. Good game. Great win. Again, wish Arkansas would have run the score up, but they didn't. They won. That's all that mattered. So, I will see you guys on Monday. Someone's outside my door. I will see you guys on Monday, 11 o'clock. Be there. Woo pick. Go Hawks.